German simple past tense, das Präteritum. The topic of today's video is the Präteritum. That's more or less the equivalent to the English simple past tense. I will explain to you how you actually form the Präteritum in German, and I will show you special characteristics and also the use of the Präteritum. So let's start. Hi, my name is Jan and I'm your German teacher here on EasyDeutsch, your YouTube channel for German grammar. Today's topic is the Präteritum, the simple past tense in the German language. This is one of two main past tenses in the German language, apart from the perfect tense. I already published a video on the perfect tense. If you want to check it out, I will link that in the info cards for you. Now to the Präteritum. Präteritum is pretty special in German, and go through this video, but at the end I will actually tell you a secret about the relationship with the Präteritum and German native speakers. So let's switch into my ebook, German Grammar Explained Easily. So we're here now in my ebook, German Grammar Explained Easily. Let's go to today's topic, German Präteritum tense. There we go, almost there. So let's zoom in that you can see it better. First, what's the Präteritum? In English, we would call this the simple past tense, but pay attention, it's a little bit different here. It's actually easier in German because we have the second past tense, the perfect tense. You may have watched my video about that already. If not, I will link it in the info cards for you here, because German knows two past tenses. That's the Präteritum and the perfect tense. And they're used quite different from English. But let's have a look at the Präteritum here. First, three examples. Das Wetter war schlecht, so the weather was bad. Machte Urlaub. He, word by word, did holiday. So he made holiday. Wir hatten Glück. We had luck. This one means he was on vacation. And the thing with Präteritum is the conjugation. This is the regular conjugation. It's actually not so hard. You just add pretty much a T in front of the present conjugation ending. Remember, it's ich kaufe. So in Präteritum, it's ich kaufte. It's du kaufst in present. So du kauftest. Here we have not just the T, we add an extra E because TST would be a little complicated to pronounce for Germans. And also remember, if you've watched my video about the present tense, in the moment the verb stem, the base, ends in a T, we have to add this E here too. And if we add a T there whatsoever, we have to obviously add this E too. If you want to know more about those exceptions and special characteristics, check out my video. I will link it in the info cards for you as well. And in present, we would say es kauft. In Präteritum, there's one rule. First and third person singular is always the same. So that's why this is a little bit different, but here we use always the same thing, even if it's irregular. So this and this is always the same. That's why it's not just kauft, we stick to kaufte. And here again, we just do it the same way like in present tense with an added T. Instead of wir kaufen, it's wir kauften. Instead of ihr kauft, it's ihr kauftet. So here we add the T plus the E in between because it would be a double T. Technically, we should do this here too, but again, this and this is always the same. That's why we don't do it here. And third person plural or formal, instead of Sie kaufen, it's Sie kauften. So it's 100% just add the T compared to the present conjugation, except third person singular. There we just copy whatever is in the first person singular. That's the easy part. Those are the regular verbs. They also have a special characteristic, but that's just the one that you already know from the present tense, presens. If the verb stem here ends on a T or D, then we add another E here in between. So ich arbeitete, du arbeitetest, arbeitete. So here it's a lot of tete. Pay attention to this. So we do it here and we do it there too. That's the exact same thing that we have in present tense as well. But now let's have a look at irregular verbs. The good news here, I gave it to you already, first and third person are always the same. But irregular verbs use vowel changes, and there are way more vowel changes in Präteritum than in the presens. And it's way more complicated than that, because remember, in presens we do that only for second and third person singular and pretty much nowhere else. In Präteritum we do it pretty much everywhere, so we change the entire verb stem often. It's not just limited to two vowels like in the present tense. If you want to know more about the change in the present tense, presens, check out my video about strong verbs. There I will explain it to you in detail. Let's have a look here at three very common irregular verbs in Präteritum. Obviously, to be is irregular. What else to expect, right? It's ich war, du warst, er, sie, es, man war, wir waren, ihr wart, und sie waren. There's an entire change of the verb stem, so that it becomes like a new one. You simply have to know that. Haben, we change the entire verb base, the stem. Instead of haben, we have ich hatte, du hattest, er, sie, es hatte, wir hatten, ihr hattet, und sie hatten. So it's not haben, it's hatten. And schlafen, it's not schlaften, it's ich schlief, du schliefst, er, sie, es schlief, wir schliefen, ihr schlieft, und sie schliefen. There's no rule why this A changed to an IE. And there we have the bad news. Actually, about 50% of all verbs in Präteritum are irregular. And if your face now looks like this smiley here, I can tell you most Germans don't know the conjugation of all verbs in the simple past of Präteritum either. We simply always try to avoid using it whenever possible. So when do you use perfect tense, when do you use Präteritum? I will show you this in a separate video that I will link in the info cards here right now for you. There I will explain you in detail what's the difference between Präteritum and perfect, and also when do you actually use it, spoken language versus written language. So, see you in the next one. So, here you see, Germans don't like their Präteritum so much, simply because it's very complicated. We like to make it as easy as possible for us. That's why I've created an entire separate video on when to use perfect and when to use Präteritum for you, because it is quite different from the English use. In German, we always try to use the easier thing that does not create irregularities unnecessarily. I will link this video in the video description for you and also in the end screen here. And if you like this video, I hope I've earned your subscription to my channel. And it's also a great support if you like my video and maybe share it with your friends. Also, if you like the content that you've just seen in this video, this ebook is also for sale. I don't do any other partnerships with companies that pay me and that are interrupting the video for you. So I only do my own books and ebooks. So if you like what you've just seen, that's also a great way to support me even further than just a subscription or a like. All the links about that in the video description below. And then I hope I will see you again in one of my other videos, maybe already in the next one, where I explain to you the difference in use between perfect and Präteritum. And until then, viel Spaß und Erfolg beim Deutschlernen.